Hello, welcome to another video from Ready and Roll. Today, as you can probably see, we're going to be unboxing the Gaunts from Games Workshop for Astra Millitarum. Before we do that, if you do enjoy this video, or any other videos that we put out, it would be an incredible honour if you could like and or subscribe. Completely free, and genuinely it makes us feel really good about what we do. So enough of that sentimental bollocks. Let's get on with what obviously you guys have come here to witness. I'm a big fan of Gaunt's. They are the I read I think I actually read Sabbath Martyr before any of the others, because that's the book that my school had, and I read about halfway through it and I was like, I don't understand what's going on here. So I went into my local Games Workshop, which was in Plymouth, and I mentioned that I'd been reading this book, and the guy asked me naturally if I'd read anything else. I was like, no, I've not. This is the first book I've ever read that is a Warhammer book. And he was like, this, just a heads up, this is quite a few books in. So he handed me a copy of First and Only, and that was the first book that I read from cover to cover. In at least secondary school. I'd done it before, but it was reading for me had always been difficult, just mostly because of my eyesight. So reading standard size print has always been a bit of a challenge for me. But I remember that was the first book that was of any significant length that wasn't a comic book that I read from cover to cover without putting it down for any length of time. I just, any spare moment I had, I was reading that. And for ages I wanted to try and get my hands on the Gaunt's Ghost minis that you could get back then. But even by the time I got into the hobby, they were in metal, and you could only really get them online, even back then. So it was interesting. I know it was one of those things where I was just like, I'm probably not going to get these until I am much older. And obviously, by the time I had any sort of money that I could spend myself without, any sort of value, they were gone. And then these guys got announced. And I knew immediately, seeing the sculpts, that they were exactly what I sort of pictured in my mind. So I was like, okay, I need to try and pick these up, but I couldn't find them anywhere for ages. And then I was just out and about, as I often am, and I went into my new local Games Workshop in Bromley, and they had these guys just on the bookshelf with all the Black Library stuff is, and to my knowledge, they this box was sold out everywhere. I didn't know any other place that had them, so I snapped up a box and went, yep, I need these. So yeah, I'm gonna open these up. Granted, I don't have much of Astra Millitarum army at the moment, but honestly, I'm probably just going to use these for things like Stargrave, because these, any one of these would make a great captain for Stargrave. And a great first mate. I think even if you just use Commissar Gaunt, as a generic commissar. It's a solid model, so let's have a look at it. So obviously you get your 5 25mm bases, your instruction booklet, which is multiple languages and in full colour, which is nice, and obviously one sprue, actually. What's that? Yeah, it's a single sprue. I did not know that. But, fair enough. Yeah, that's news to me. So, as you can see, they're all quite nice, good sculpts. All the cloaks look to be quite nice and dynamic, which is good. Plenty of foliage, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah, so far I am quite impressed with this. Getting all 6 minis on one sprue. Don't see that too often. I guess these aren't like multi-part kits. It's just it's basically 6 HQ like characters that would normally be sold on a ballista pack. Just they're all one squad, so they're on one sprue. Anyway, yeah, all the parts rather look to be fairly good. Nice sculpt, nice detail on them all. So I am going to put on some music and get these guys together. I don't know if I'll make a follow-up video on them all as one, or if I'll do them as individual models, each having their own short. Don't know yet, but I'll figure something out. Again, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this, a like and subscribe be much appreciated. Leave a comment. Did you read the Gaunts Ghosts books when you were getting into the hobby, or are you reading them now? And if you haven't read them, what's your favourite Warhammer book, or just generally Black Library book? And maybe if you haven't read any Black Library stuff, then maybe someone in the comments will give you a idea of where you might be able to start if you are looking at getting into the hobby. Because a lot of the Black Library stuff now is on Audible, so not sponsored, but Audible's great for a lot of things like that. So listen to an audiobook when you're putting these together or painting or what have you. So you might find your next favourite book. And that'll be it from us for now. Catch you in the next one.